Hi, you guys. The minute I sat down, I got struck with the idea of, I don't know if you've ever been back, to your childhood home or, your grade school or something, and it's so much smaller. What you thought was a huge living room is like a fairly dinky room, and the dinky room is like minuscule, and the yard isn't as big, and so time does something, and maybe just when we were little it all seemed bigger, but it dovetailed a little bit with this Taurus full moon energy of like releasing a comfort zone for a new another kind of security, or that sense of something being smaller. In our memories, it looms so large. It like is the biggest thing on the horizon. And then it's not. Turns out to be small. The other thing was a song was in my head this morning, the song Stand By Me. It's a great tune, and I should know who sings it, but I don't. But it's the idea of when the night is long and the something, and the moon is the only light we see. I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid as long as you stand by me. Darling, darling, stand by me. 5 cups. That's somebody who perhaps didn't stand by. It's a card of loss. A lost connection. And there's this enormous 2 cups. It's like the portal of connection, but all these spilled ones that this person is focusing on. Something that showed great promise and perhaps still does. Whatever it was did not impact your ability to love and connect. But it made you, I'm hearing unconscionably sad. That's sort of a crossword puzzle word. Princess of Cups. That may have been your expectation. Like, remember I said the room seemed so big in your memory, and you revisit it and it's small? Look how big this cup is. It may have been some sort of connection that you had great expectations for. And there's the crescent moon there in the corner. Like you thought it would grow. And you thought it would wax, and it only waned. You thought it would get bigger, and it only got smaller. To the point where you're like looking at the relationship and saying, this is it? This room, this home, this place, this person I thought was so big is actually Princess of Pentacles. So we have 2 page energies on the board. Something new, something fresh. And it may have been an expectation that a great love was going to come into your life, and you were ready for it and waiting. Waiting for the offer, waiting for a sign. Show me a sign. I remember I was once with my then husband. My sister calls that a husband, which I sort of like. We were in an animal shelter, getting ready to adopt a puppy. And my husband said, don't go for the cute one who's right up in your face and licky, pick the shy one. And I don't know where he got that as a sort of rule of thumb, but it worked. He picked a couple of dogs and they were winners. I don't know how that will play out. Under 5 of Cups, Knight of Wands. Somebody coming in fast. Chariot, indeed, fast. Fast movement, fast forward movement. Card of Cancer, where the feelings are aligned. Maybe your expectations are aligned with what actually shows up. Pentacles energy. It may be small, but it has the potential. It's sort of like a seed that can grow. Pentacles. Maybe it's some way to rebound from this sadness. Because this is certainly a card of rebounding. Major Arcana card of Cancer. Emotional alignment. Victory. The reconciling of two things so that, we can move forward with these two things aligned. Perhaps these two people. And somebody's sort of revving the engines. Wands are fast energy. They're passionate and somewhat impulsive. It's a kind of giddy up energy. Under Princess of Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles. Well, it is about growth. Investing time and energy to grow something. And this is like the offering of a place to begin. Where this could grow into, it's like the room analogy. In your childhood or years ago, perhaps it seemed big, and then revisiting it, it seemed little. But something happened, and over time, it grew again. It grew big again. It's a little bit like Alice in Wonderland, who drinks one elixir and gets, I can't remember which comes first. I think it's the one that makes her big. She suddenly, her head's out the chimney and her arms are out the windows. She's breaking the house apart. I think the little one comes first. She shrinks down so little that she begins to cry and she is drowning in her own tears. Water energy. This card of sadness, drowning in her own tears. I think it's a divine feminine. Somebody who's been on the receiving end of an offer that was really promising and lovely in that sense of filled with potential love. Tell us about Knight of Wands, Moon card. Another water energy card and another card of Cancer. And there's the moon right there. Right there, right there. And it might be something that was hidden. In the fullness of time, reveals itself. And there's passionate, somebody's hot to trot on this full moon. And again, we have the black dog and the white dog, the black horse and the white horse. But, the portal is right in between the two. It's sort of like the middle road. which in Buddhism is what you aim for. You don't want either extreme. You want the middle road. You know, so you're not like this and you're not like this, you're balanced. So you can move forward. You know, it's having like all your tires inflated, able to go. Is it this one? 10 of Wands on 7 of Pentacles. This is ordinarily a laying down of the burden. And I think that's true in that these wands, there's so many behind this person. And yet, there are 2 that constitute the steering wheel, almost like the steering wheel of a boat. You know, it's that big wheel that you... So it's kind of this forward movement we have. Something's been jettisoned. Again, that boat imagery, when you want to move forward in a boat, sometimes you have to lighten the load. You have to jettison what's not needed in order to move forward. Close out a cycle and do it. And the 2 of Wands that are forming this steering wheel, 2 of Wands is a choice in direction. Which way do I go? And I think this is that Taurus energy of maybe moving out of a comfort zone because somebody's closing out a cycle. You could be a Cancer, you could be dealing with a Cancer. You're dealing with emotional energy for sure. And, you know, you've got this spirit guide that has your back. So whatever cycle you closed out, and you may be moving into unknown territory, moon energy, a place that can be scary because it's you're breaking ground, you're bravely moving forward, you've got your emotional shit together, you know, literally this together. And it's like your guides have your back. You're doing the steering, but under the influence of this, there's the bear again. Tell us about 5 of Cups and the spirit guide. 9 of Cups, toward happiness. Out of sadness, toward happiness. Personal fulfillment, feeling loved. It's like a sea change. In that water energy, a sea change. And it's somehow like a gift of grace. The universe supports this movement where it may have been like important to be in mourning as long as you had to. But there's the rainbow. It's like the promise of hope and transformation. All these butterflies going from one cup into the other and big. It reminds me of the Temperance card a little bit. Like the blending of the two. The 2 cups. Turning your heartache into joy. Tell us about this message or opportunity or lesson. Queen of Swords. Yeah, Queen of Swords. And again with the rainbow. And that rainbow image isn't just in sword energy. We have it in the cups as well. Some kind of like a contract or a bond you know, Queen of Swords definitely knows the direction. It's based on their personal truth, which way to go. And they're following both their head and their heart. Queen of Swords, Nine of Cups, and 2 cards of Cancer. On Chariot, 4 of Cups. That's kind of a heartache into joy energy too. It's holding the vision, somehow holding the vision that love is possible. And that it might be, even though it's a page energy, bigger than you thought it would be or felt it would be, because you were sad, and it had to change, and it has changed. You like took control. And it's all about your transformation and letting in messages from, I mean, this can be a message. This looks like an opening of the crown chakra, like receiving this download. Into 3D. Queen of Swords, Princess of Pentacles. Tell us about the great expectations. Oh, bugger. 3 of Swords. Well, I mean, that's crushing. Great expectations, and then pain. You thought there was an offer on the table. And, you know, to me, 3 of Swords is a card of the memory of pain because it's sword energy. You know, it's something that lingers in your mind and shapes how you think about yourself. But you've gotten great clarity about that. You've set boundaries because you had to, or you thought you had to. Yeah, okay. Can you tell us a little more about the three of Swords, please? Stand by me. I think there was an implicit promise to stand by you on the part of this other person. And they may have felt like they could leave you in sadness. You know, they could walk away from the promise of this 2 of Cups, like miss the reunion time. That 3 of Cups should be a card of reunion and friendship. And it really stung. And they thought you know, somehow they thought you wouldn't be hurt. Because you seemed secure in your feelings. Like, that person will get over it. I'll just be a memory. I'll shrink in their mind. Sword energy. But you're in disbelief, or you were. You know, swords are to do with belief and communication. And it's like, I don't even know what to say. I just don't believe that this happened. And there's a sense of, I was naive. I was in page energy, princess energy. I really thought somebody loved me. I thought it's sword energy, but now I know better. and I've put up boundaries, but I still have hope, this rainbow image, even in my sadness. I didn't give up on the idea that I could be happy, I could be loved. The 9 card, the personal. I didn't give up. 2 of Swords. That's like being of 2 minds. Sword energy, you know, like at a crossroads where one part of you thinks this is the way to go, and there's a block. And the other part of you thinks, okay, I'll go this way, and there's a block. Like, where do I turn? And again, the moon, the crescent moons. Something hadn't really gotten off the ground when it was derailed. Hierophant. That crown chakra business. The knowing, the deep knowing. Your personal truth and this kind of, the truth you know because it's coming into you from your higher power. And it's not even a from, that's a, because that the implication of that is that it's outside you, and it's not. It's an energy that's funneling right into, it's always been there. It's always been there. But it's been hard to get to. There's this labyrinth, you know, where you, like a maze, where you go down. Remember I said this way and there's a block, and that way and there's a block? In a maze, you know, you're trying to find your way into the center and then back out again. And you go down a lot of, there are false starts, and you have to turn around and retrace your steps. This is a card of Taurus, the Taurus full moon. And the rainbow here again. And all the fixed signs, including the bear. We have the bull and the bear. Isn't there like a bull market and a bear market? I don't know. Wins and losses. Wins and losses. The currency is emotion, I think. Like, I'm getting even the current Z. Sometimes spirit is kind of goofy. Okay, and on Hierophant, King of Cups. Well, I think that's that's turning toward true love. That's finding yourself at the center. You could be dealing with a water sign. Likely a Cancer, or somebody who has Cancer predominantly in their chart, or in any case, emotions are at the center of this circumstance. And there are painful memories of painful emotion too, because something or somebody really disappointed you. But you're finding your way out of the maze. And it has to do with the Taurus full moon. That higher power, I think you'll get a download about which way to go. Which way to go? Okay, can you tell us about this this choice, this crossroads, and the King of Cups, please? Princess of Swords. Oh, sorry, Prince of Swords, so that's Knight of Swords. That's somebody coming in with something to say. And it's transformative. Whatever they say is, the game changer. 5 of Pentacles. 5s indicate the need for change. And we have 5 of Pentacles, 5 of Cups. This is a card of isolation and of feeling abandoned. And not just feeling it, in real terms, pentacle terms. Somebody has left you out in the cold. But again, there's this spirit animal. You're not really alone. The wolf is there with you. It looks a bit like this looks a bit like the hermit energy to me, this cloaked figure on the solitary path. Hermit's path is spiritual, but it isn't easy, and there's something about walking that lonesome valley by yourself. 10 of Swords. Well, I think the best news is this cycle of solitude, of feeling abandoned, of being abandoned, is over. 10 of Swords. Like the sacrifice has been made. You may have had to cut yourself loose. But somebody's coming in to say something. What are they coming in to say? Prince of Wands. Page of Wands again. I'm just looking because I think in this deck, we've got the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Wands. 2 very fast energies. But there's the Knight. There's the Knight of Wands. I'm sorry, I'm a little unfamiliar with this deck. And I think this is, in any other deck, the Page of Wands, the new direction. The cycle closed out, 10 of Swords, and it's finding your way back from the isolation. And there is a message here, Page of Swords. Based on some kind of new information, I think you're able to close out a cycle. It's like having closure. It's like having, I'm hearing somebody having the last word. And the last word may be, enough sadness, I'm going toward my personal happiness. Enough of heartbreak. Enough of heartbreak. 2 of Cups. Those 2 of Cups that were there big on the 5 of Cups card. You were dealt an emotional blow. You bounced back in a big way, filling your own cups, like doing everything you could in your own life to connect to people who loved you, to things that you love. And kind of prompted by the heartbreak to do that. Like it's a sort of do or die situation. So there's personal happiness here, and there's also mutual accord and love and connection. Empress, love it. Divine Feminine. Also Taurus. Taurus and Libra. Full moon in Taurus. The moon is right behind her. He, she, they. Doesn't have to be a gender female, but it's somebody who's really come into their own. Empress said trading one house for another. Empress, in a way, creates, you know, it's the card of creativity and growth. And I think somebody has taken the raw material of their loneliness, their abandonment, they're out in the cold, and has grown into a full-blown divine feminine. You know, I am the home. I am Gaia. I embrace living things, not, you know, the memory of pain. I'd rather go for, not the memory of pain, I'd rather go for the 3D connection. I have not given up on love. I am the principle of love, Venus. No more bad love, says Eric Clapton. But that somehow the abandonment, the disappointment, and all of that was the catalyst to move forward, Prince of Wands, in a new direction. Something bigger and better. You know, that where you make more, you're about growth, not about being diminished. I think where you were was too small. Whatever you were offered was perhaps too small. Not anymore. 9 of Cups, 2 of Cups. Chariot, Moon. A lot of references to this full moon, which I believe is today. It was today or yesterday, depending upon where you live in the world. But something's really coming to fruition, and I think a King of Cups may be coming into your life. And then you might be faced with the decision to really take this relationship to the next level, Hierophant, like a next level of commitment. And you know, to match with Empress, somebody really needs to be in their own power. You know, not depleting anybody, giving the way you give, loving the way you love. You want reciprocity. You want the growing thing. 7 of Pentacles, Empress. The bigger room. Is that it? That's it. On the board we have Taurus and Hierophant. Taurus, Libra, and Empress. Cancer in the Moon. Cancer in the Chariot. And that's it. A lot of fresh energy, pages, knights. But I think the rewards for your ability to set boundaries and know your own truth and know how to navigate. Where's that navigation card? It was a 10 of Wands. Here we go. You're on your way. You're closer than you think. It may happen. There may be a great evidence of it today. Princess of Pentacles. But timing is fluid in tarot, but there's that implication of having arrived. Having arrived. Okay. Love you guys, and I'll see you next time.